Hello, astrology friends and family. Welcome to July. I'm just going to go over some of the bigger outer planet aspects, and then we're just going to dive right into all 12 signs. Okay, so as we start off July, all of the inner planets are direct, and sorry about my notifications. The outer planets like Saturn and Pisces had started retrograding at the end of June. Pluto is already retrograding in Aquarius, and Neptune will station retrograde in Pisces on July 2nd, and that will continue all the way until January 1st of 2025. He'll stay there direct for a little bit and then move straight into Aries in March of 2025. The beginning of the month with the Cancer energy will be watery and sweet and will be sextiling Mars and Taurus. It will be a great time for time out, spending time with family, friends, exercising in water like stand-up paddleboarding, canoeing, any kind of like boating, swimming activities, things like that. And it's also a great time to be creative and put your inner, with all of the inner planets direct, put your little, launch your little dreams out into their cosmic sailboats out into the ethers. You could be beautifying the spaces that you live in, developing a garden with Mars here in Taurus. You could also be maybe working on a pond or a pool. This is Cancer season now, so any kind of cooking with friends, cookouts, time out near and around water, sports and togetherness is just going to feel great at this time. On July 2nd, the big news is Neptune stationing retrograde at 29 degrees, which is an anaretic degree, in Pisces until January 1st. I already mentioned those dates. This is now kind of, I don't want to say your last chance, but kind of with Neptune in Pisces, to make your deepest, wildest, biggest dreams real. We have until March 31st, 2025. This will be the last go of Neptune and Pisces for a very long time. And so what this is good for, it's digging deep, it's molding, shaping, and putting into structure, because don't forget Saturn is here in Pisces as well. Putting into structure and action your wildest dreams. I would say right now you'd be building the structure around those dreams, whatever they may be, and then preparing to really launch them out when Neptune goes direct next January. So they can be made real here with Saturn. And if you had given up on your dreams coming true, no more. Do not do that. With Saturn here, he's saying, don't give up, but you're going to have to work for it. So you don't get something for nothing. So he wants you to build that dream. Even after Neptune leaves Pisces in March, get it started now, because Saturn will help you continue working on that dream until February of 2026, because that's when Saturn will leave Pisces. And I'll tell you what this means for each of the 12 signs when I get into that prediction. Okay, sorry. All month, Uranus and Taurus will be sextiling Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. You could have surprising insights, shocking solutions, to developing structure around your dreams. You could come up with innovative ways to make money from things that you were only dreaming of up until now. You could also come up with innovative ways or solutions to help global issues like global suffering peoples. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I won't get into the mundane astrology. My favorite organization is UNICEF. Near and dear to my heart. I'll put their link in the description box down below if you have the means to donate to them. They help children in war-torn places. Right now, solutions can come up regarding water problems, pollution, the oceans, as Neptune rules the seas. And let me see, I know there was like a little girl who had just come up with some kind of a solution dealing with like a mollusk or oyster issue. And they are an important part of the oceanic ecosystem. There could be solutions to food shortages, innovative farming solutions, innovative ways to protect cows, and the leather industry. If you're a vegetarian, I think we may see innovative ways or alternative means of using leather. Mushroom leather is a thing, and I love it. And that would be a perfect example of Uranus and Taurus. and affecting the cattle industry, but in a positive way. Again, with Pluto in the mix, this would be really transformational solutions that come to the forefront now. Very powerful solutions that could change the world, quite literally. There could be ideas that emerge now or ways to help people who are suffering. 12th house. Pisces rules faraway places and people who are marginalized or who suffer in society. I love this part, but powerful Piscean leaders or leaders with those traits can come up to the forefront now, especially with Saturn in their sign is crystallizing them and making them the wise one, the wise teacher, and an authority. I keep seeing also Aquarian Pisces types that will, in my mind, although I think they're already starting to show themselves now and in the near future, especially with Pluto going into Aquarius. And yeah, I think it's going to be great to see. On July 5th, there is a new moon in Cancer at 14 degrees, trining Saturn. So what you begin now has the builder in the mix. Any creative projects, if you're building a home, Cancer rules the house, the home, roots, and family. Making structural changes there within the family, or maybe even like adding on to your home. New beginnings around these themes can happen now, and they would be changes that will last with Saturn there. On July 11th, Venus in Cancer trines Neptune and Pisces at 29 degrees and sextiles Uranus and Saturn, and loosely Saturn. Venus is pretty happy in Cancer and Neptune is in its domicile in Pisces. We could have sudden emotional healing in the family, soulmate, past life love could be on its way, otherworldly love, that would be the highest octave of Venus is Neptune. Profound spiritual love or realizations, beautiful creative works of art, movies, music can come to the forefront or crystallize in some people's minds. You can deal with issues from the past and transcend them now. Just watch out here, there could be a little bit of relationship drama, jealousy, or power plays because Pluto will be opposing Venus in this aspect. Venus will be entering Leo at that 1 degree mark. But it's good, making good aspects to Saturn and Uranus. And remember that Venus moves faster than Pluto, so this should pass quickly. It's just something that I want to mention to look out for. On July 12th, Venus enters Leo. It's great for fire signs, Gemini, Libras. Venus will trine Chiron and Aries in the North Node, and this could really heal that Chiron wound in the Aries part of your chart. For once and for all, it could be fated healing that comes through at this time, maybe even through acting or through some art form, creativity and healing with children or for children or because of children. The child within can also be healed. Aries can be very childlike in a way. They're the first sign of the zodiac. Or a way forward in these areas with the North Node can be shown here, drawing you to like a destined healing art form, a destined business that heals you on a soul level, a destined child could be in the mix, bringing tremendous healing to your soul, for those of you who may be expecting. On July 18th, Mercury enters Cancer and the Sun is sextiling Uranus. So your mind and thoughts and intuition can be spot on at this time. And Mars is in a sextile to this aspect, and Neptune is positive in the mix too. You could be enjoying water sports, and this is around July 18th. Beaches, paddle boating, canoeing, swimming with family and friends now. Working on some form of a creative project or writing, and just be in a good flow with sudden inspirations or ideas that can have a long-term financial payoff. July 21st, there will be the second of a full moon in a blue moon cycle in Capricorn. 29 degrees, the anaretic degree, which is also a very finishing, finite degree. We had a full moon on June 21st in Capricorn. This one will be trining Uranus in Taurus, conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, or in Capricorn because it's retrograding backwards, and sextiling Neptune in Pisces. There can be an echo effect at this time around the legacies that we're trying to build, our worldly dreams and aspirations that we're trying to make concrete, being balanced out with the home fires in the domicile. We could have completion here of worldly professional goals. Sudden public recognition can happen now for some too, especially with Uranus here. It can happen suddenly. Father figures could be in the mix in a big way and maybe could be assisting you somehow. But I see it as generally pretty positive. July 23rd, the sun enters Leo, its rulership, and the rest of the month will be flowing with fire energy, trining Chiron in Aries, trining the North Node, giving a boost to these fire signs of Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and sextiling Libra and Gemini. On July 28th, Neptune will come into an exact sextile with Pluto, and this will continue for the rest of the year. What this could look like would be otherworldly creative projects can be born, deep spirituality, probing into the deeper dimensions of the spirit world, going on a pilgrimage that will change your life. I don't know, Easter Island just popped in my head. Maybe somebody's going there. I don't know. I've always wanted to go. I think it's such a cool thing to see these giant stone heads sticking out of the ground and imagining their bodies buried somewhere deep below the earth or within the earth. Anyway, fantastic works of art could be born, music and movies. You could heal inner complexes that have kept you stuck, and things that have been like a poison to your soul can be healed and released now. Realizations and just forgiveness in your life story can happen. The healing can come now. Also, finding a profound healer or somebody with these traits can appear, and they will have been divinely guided to you. They can be very deeply Piscean or Neptunian in nature. And I think I'll make a separate video for that because it's such a huge, beautiful aspect, and it's a very powerful one at that. And I will mention this in all 12 signs, and let's dive in. Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You're the star of the show now until next June 2025. Jupiter will be blessing your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant and trining the South Node in your 5th house and sextiling your Aries 11th house, which is also containing the North Node of Destiny here with Chiron. You could heal over the next year anything to do with big dreams or a wound around feeling like you can't achieve them, large friend groups, internet-based goals and projects, humanitarian or charitable groups. You can find financial gain in this house and to do with these subjects. Since Gemini naturally rules the 3rd house of local community and neighborhood, you could play and win a local lottery. Jupiter is also trining your 5th house of creativity, children, sports, acting, money wins, your 9th house, as well as your 9th house of higher learning, teachers, long-distance travel, and publishing. Even though the South Node is in the 5th, I feel in some ways it can release blocks or difficulties in attaining those 5th house matters mentioned above. You could even be writing or developing a creative project here that you can publish, or even like an ebook that can gain success in the 11th house of internet and wide reach. And that can also heal a wound that you may have there. Neptune will turn retrograde on July 2nd in your 10th house of career, father figures, how you are seen in the world, your title and reputation, and in some charts it can even be your husband if you're married. What Neptune wants you to do before he leaves for good and fully heads into your 11th house is to go back over these 10th house matters and build. Saturn's a builder, a lasting structure around who you want to become, what you want to be known for, and what you truly dream of doing out in the world. The time to build that dream is now, as Neptune is retrograding and will only be here for a little while longer until next March 2025, when he will then move to your 2nd house of earnings, income, and what you value. Uranus will be sextiling Neptune and Saturn in the 10th from your 12th house of faraway lands, distant shores, the dream world, institutions, hospitals, self-sabotaging behaviors, etc. This could look like sudden ideas, revelations, solutions, insights, dreams that you have relating to what you want to change in your career and what you want to do. You could have sudden, deep subconscious healing about the path you intend to go on now as you leave something behind or sabotaging behavior that no longer serves you in your career sector or 10th house matters and reputation. Maybe you leave a job that you don't love to go work overseas, or maybe you become an astrologer working from home, or a book writer, blog writer, a screenplay, or you have sudden epiphanies about wanting to do something like that. And with Pluto positively aspecting this, it could be a huge transformation for you in the way that people see you. A powerful teacher now could show up, or a very powerful spiritual person from far away who can change your life. On July 5th, the Cancer new moon at 14 degrees is conjunct the royal star Aldebaran and trine Saturn in the 10th house. Also, Venus is in Cancer at 19 degrees here too, and this happens in your second house. Aldebaran is a wealth star and one of the 4 guardians of the sky. It's a star known for riches and honors, and anything that you're starting now in second house matters, such as land purchase, wine, food, bank accounts, your values, self-esteem. Second house covers material possessions, can yield big financial results or increases in your self-worth. And this is 4 degrees, Gemini risings with degrees anywhere from, I would say, 12 degrees to 16, somewhere around there. Mars in Taurus is in the 12th house, but it'll be sextiling Venus and trining Saturn as well. And the work you've been doing on 10th house matters, or working on a creative project from the 12th house. 12th house can represent creativity and artistry. It could be possible that something you're working on can yield a payout down to your second house of banking with Venus there. Venus loves being in the second house. It is her natural home, and she's also happy in Cancer. So maybe you plan or want to work towards big career moves or make changes now in what you want to do on the big stage of the 10th house of career. Mars from the 12th will give you that energy to go after and work on those dreams. Whatever you're planning or doing, especially with Aldebaran there, is part of this aspect, is beautiful. It has staying power, especially with Saturn, and the potential for really big success. On July 11th, Venus in Cancer in the second house trines Neptune and Pisces up in the 10th. So you could find divine inspiration about money-making ideas suddenly, as Uranus is in Taurus in your 12th house of the subconscious, flowing to this aspect as well. You could travel to a faraway place or a distant land for beautification or surgery. You could be receiving downloads from the spiritual 12th house that could turn into money-making ideas, changing what you do for a living. The 10th house also involves father figures, government, public image, reputation. You could be going from, say, like a government official position to astrologer, or from the workplace to staying at home, or working from home with Cancer in the second house. You could also benefit from a father-like figure here as well. On July 12th, Venus enters Leo in your third house of the mind, your locale, small business, social apps, elementary education, siblings, neighborhood. And it sextiles your sun, moon, or rising sign, making you look good, feel good. Good, happy messages could be coming through to you. And trining Chiron and the north node of destiny in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and gains from the 10th house. 11th house contains those gains from the 10th. Friendship groups, internet, humanitarian groups. You could find your place now among a group. A wish can come true via the 11th house topics of lottery wins, friends, internet. You could receive loving texts, calls, emails, social media messages from the third house. And you could be healing a wound there around these matters, especially with Chiron being positively aspected by Venus. And then later in the month, the sun will join in Leo. You could also start a business or do something creative with Leo here. Even with children, Leo can represent children, and that could yield large gains as well, as the third house is a self-made wealth house, and the 11th is big gains, your hopes and biggest dreams and wishes come true. On July 15th, I have to mention this icky, crunchy aspect. Mars will conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Well, it doesn't have to be icky. It will be in the 12th house, and it will oppose your 6th house of health. Mars rules the 6th house. This aspect has been, honestly, it's kind of already been simmering and building in the background. It just comes exact on the 15th. This will happen in your 12th house of isolation, faraway shores, hospitals, subconscious. But it can also represent miracles, transcendent art, music, creativity. You can use this energy to break out of a creative rut and get to work. Bust out of self-destructive behaviors, especially looking over at the 6th house of health. And the 12th is also one of self-undoing behaviors. So they can come to the forefront now, so you can tackle them, get over them, cut them away for once and for all. Mars cuts and Uranus separates as well. On July 18th, Mercury goes into Cancer for the next few weeks in your second house of money, land, property, and self-worth, kind of re-echoing that Cancer new moon from July 5th. You could be busy at home, and Mercury rules you and your fourth house of Virgo. So you could be making use of your gifts of communication and increasing your self-worth because of it. You could be focused on building or securing your material assets, maybe wanting to acquire land, or you could get news about home, land investment opportunities here. You might be spending to invest in your house or cooking. Mercury involves the hands, and Cancer cooks healthy meals for yourself or your family. On July 21st, we'll have Capricorn full moon at 29 degrees. It's the second of a blue moon cycle, and this happens in your 8th house of deep transformations, shared resources, taxes, death, and sex. It's a culmination around these topics, but also set in insights, and it could be a breaking free with Uranus trining this aspect from the 12th and Neptune sextiling here. There could be deep healing around those issues or topics, and this is more prominent for late degree Geminis, around 25 degrees and up. From July 23rd, the Sun enters Leo for the next few weeks in your 3rd house of the mind, trining Chiron in the 11th. Venus has been here for a bit, smoothing out your thoughts and emotions, and the Sun could be lighting up your desires, your ideas, getting recognized for creativity, writing projects, your socials, romance and fun in your local neighborhood. Maybe you're on the go for vacation as well, since Venus is here, and it could be to a place that you love and really enjoy yourself. You could also find love as well on your travels or on vacations, somewhere not too far from home. On July 28th, Neptune in Pisces in your 10th of career and world stage will sextile Pluto the rest of the year in your 9th house of higher education, spirituality, spiritual teachers, long-distance travels, doctors, lawyers, legal contracts. You could have Aquarian-like people come into your life and change what you want to do in the world or what you want to do for a career. You can have an Aquarian father figure or authority figure who helps your public recognition somehow. You could be going to university for humanitarian or global issues, politics, or learning about these topics before launching a career in those areas. You could also go on a trip or travel abroad that changes your higher mind thinking and even how you're viewed in the world, or your reputation can change because of it. That's all for July, and we'll see you in August.